I'm Mark. I'm Juniper's father.
I'm Holly Basinger. I'm Juniper's mother.
Juniper, she's 3.5. She's a very cute little kid. Big chubby cheeks.
To describe Juniper in one word, I would say affectionate. She loves cuddles. She loves being close to people. She tends to want to play more with adults than children. She's very physical. She likes to climb, jump.
Very rough and tumble. She likes to get dirty and get muddy and with rocks. And she loves to be outside constantly. That's where she's, most comfortable, I would say.
She loves playing with blocks. She loves stacking them up as high as she can get them, and then she'll just knock them all down. And I love watching her do that and building them with her. She's just so focused on it. And then when she knocks them down, it's just like, it's just so funny watching her face when it happens.
There's interesting things she likes. Like she likes to watch the microwave. So we have this little stool, and if we microwave something, she, runs over there and just watches the microwave spin. And yeah, she really likes that. I don't know why. So we found like YouTube videos of microwaves that she likes.
But she's very headstrong in a good way. It was very overwhelming. We had a scheduled C-section, but even with the C-section, I still didn't know what to expect to everything because she's my first child.
I remember my wife, she was like very concerned that she would be crying and wouldn't be able to see Juniper because she'd be filled with tears. But yeah, I remember they, got her out and they gave me to her. I'm like, oh, okay. And I showed her to Holly and, we just admired her, how cute she was and how pretty she was and how big she was. She was big.
Up till about a year of age, she was meeting all of her milestones. Up to about 1.5 to 2 years, she wasn't, she was still pretty much nonverbal, and she wasn't mimicking us.
My wife and some family have noticed, she had a lot of repetitive behaviors. And so my wife wanted to get her tested. I was actually not in town when she got tested. I was out of town for work for a few weeks, and my wife texted me like, "Hey, I got her tested at Children's Mercy."
They're really good with autistic children. The nurses and doctors are very patient and knowledgeable and caring. She had an ear tube surgery there also. And so the staff there are just really good with them. And so just when she was over 2 is when she got her diagnosis.
She has autism, and I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of in denial actually for a while. I'm like, I don't see that, but now that looking back, I was kind of ignoring some of those signs, I guess you could say.
When I first heard Juniper's diagnosis, I was sad, but mainly for society's. I won't cry. Because I was upset at her diagnosis, but not because she has autism, but because of how society views people with autism. And I don't, growing up, seeing kids with different abilities getting teased and left out, that's not something that I wish for her. So before having Juniper, my husband worked as a case manager for kids and adults with disabilities. So when I went to functions or events at his work, meeting those individuals.
Now I'm on the other side of things where, I have a kid with autism, and it's a lot different because you have to navigate everything more, I feel like, because what I would recommend for people, like if you are a new parent or a parent with someone with autism, is do your research. Like research your insurance policy, research laws, state and federal laws. Like I've had to recite laws to my private insurance, or I got to a point where I knew my policy more than my insurance provider,
We just ask lots of questions. We email anybody we can, and within our healthcare system and Medicaid, we're just always asking questions, and we may annoy some people, but we just want to do what's best for Juniper. Some other resources, so I've read some books, besides the parenting books I've read, but specifically like Sincerely Your Autistic Child. It's a series of stories from autistic adults and how they got their diagnosis and what their childhood was like and what they wish their parents knew. So that's a really good one for parents to read from the view of autistic adults and what they had to go through. I've read Unmasking Autism currently, and so I haven't finished that yet, but I'm in the middle of reading it. It's also just another great one for parents to read from the view of autistic adults, getting their diagnosis later on, and what that means to them and how they met other people through that. One thing that's very important is you should always presume competence. That's the main theme in a lot of the books I've read, is presume competence. Don't assume that just because they have this label on them that they're less than or they can't do as much as other people.
So another misconception is just that people with autism can't be social, and Juniper's like very social, sometimes too social. Like at the park the other day, she came up to just this random lady and just started smelling her hair.
The woman was sitting on the floor, and she likes hair in general, so she was like, oh, someone's right at my height and they have hair, I'm gonna play with her hair. It was so funny. She's done that to other strangers at like coffee houses or other public places. She'll just pick someone, and that's one person that she wants to play with. So for Juniper's good life in the future, we would like to imagine an inclusive environment wherever we go, people with empathy and understanding.
Just be as independent as she can, I have a brother with autism, and he's very independent. He's very independent for what he goes through. So he lives on his own with some staff that check in on him, but for the most part, he lives his own life. He does his own thing. That's what I want for her.